Hello and welcome my friends to another one of our videos. Today we are looking at the top 10 essential songs for the Prodigy. So if you're a Prodigy fan and you're trying to convert somebody, then these are 10 tracks that we recommend to convert any non-believer into the beauty and magic of the Prodigy. Maybe they can join the jilted generation. I am Danny Harrington from Dead Air Media, you know, the t-shirt and everything, which you can't buy. Unfortunately, I wish you could, but you can't. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like the video if you enjoy our content, subscribe, hit that bell icon as well to be notified of all our videos. We're about to go weekly from this week, so new videos every week. Exciting times. I suppose it means I've got a lot of time on my hands. Thanks, Lockdown 2 Electric Boogaloo. At number 10, we're going to start with Firestarter, a controversial pick for our first song, because people will say, well, that's their biggest hit. It's the most obvious Prodigy record. It's the one that everybody knows. And that's why I've put it first, because if you stuck around, dug a little deeper, I promise you, you will find tracks that are better than Firestarter. I promise you on that. The track came about because the late but great Keith Flint, wanted to do his own vocals on a record. It just so happens that producer and mastermind of the Prodigy, Liam Howlett, had Firestarter ready and waiting to go. Mixing close to the end by Art of Noise to give us that hey 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 sound, it also mixes in Breeder's track SOS to get that iconic riff heard throughout the song. Kim Deal, by the way, of the Breeders, gets a songwriting credit for Firestarter as well. The track became an icon, not to mention its iconic music video, which is just as iconic as the song itself, which was filmed at the abandoned Aldwych London Underground station. And it was the first Prodigy track to break America as well, so good start. Next on our list we have Omen, which is from the Invaders Must Die album. This album marks the return of the Prodigy to their rightful place as the kings of drum and bass, with Pendulum's In Silico bridging the gap between Always Outnumbered, Never Outgunned and Invaders. Omen is a tour de force and became the Prodigy's first top 5 hit since Breathe in 1996. It also reached number 1 in the UK dance music charts. The only thing I don't understand about this song is its music video. Why have they got Wednesday Addams playing a glockenspiel, which is somewhere either there or there? Literally have no idea. Next on our list, I just have a few questions for you. My questions are as follows. Do you hate partying? Do you think Ibiza DJs are, well, crap? Well, then this is the perfect track for you. The Prodigy teamed up with a brilliant Sleaford mods for our number 8 entry. It's Ibiza. This track appeals to me on 2 different levels, because not only is it an absolute banger of a record, Sleaford mods are also excellent, but it is a profanity-filled satire of the Ibiza club scene. It's funny on one hand, very good dance track on the other. The video for the track is also brilliant, with the Sleaford mods and the Prodigy having a go at a travel agent. And who hasn't wanted to scream at a travel agent every now and again? At number 7 we have Charlie, which was the first ever single released by the Prodigy back in 1991 and has potentially, I would argue, the greatest use of a public information film in music history, although Frankie Goes to Hollywood's 2 Tribes will probably fight you for that title. As I said, perhaps one of the greatest uses of a public information film uses the Charlie Says Say No to Strangers campaign, which was this weird animated film from like the late 80s with a cat called Charlie going meow and stuff like that. I'm not going to do it. I sounded more like a Formula 1 car going meow than an actual cat. I'm not a cat person.
Charlie says, always tell your mummy before you go off somewhere.
Why do I recommend this track to any new Prodigy fan or any hardcore Prodigy fan? Because the record sounds, the track sounds almost industrial. And if you listen to it, you can just hear the hammers of old steel factories and steel mills and things like that, where the original raves happened, abandoned factories in the north of England or in London. you know, it was fantastic. It must have been a fantastic time. And for me, this track takes me into that era of rave of the late 80s, early 90s, and it takes me into that place. Not that I ever went there, I'm too young, but it takes me mentally to that place from the sound of the track. It sounds industrial. Go listen to it, you'll see what I mean. By the way, if you want to go watch the video for the track, it's a fantastic video, but I will warn you now, strobe lighting effects definitely in session on that video. So if you've got epilepsy, don't watch it. We return to the Invaders album now with our number 6 entry. It's Warriors Dance, which was not only the 20th single ever released by the Prodigy, it was their 3rd from the Invaders Must Die album. It reached number 6 in the UK singles charts and another number 1 in the UK dance charts as well. The track's chorus samples Take Me Away by Final Cut. It also contains beat samples from Let the Warriors Dance by Addis Posse. It is apocalyptic in nature and would suit any end of the world party, which is pretty apt at the moment, except, you know, here in the UK we can't have any parties in another lockdown. The video for the track is one of the most creative by the Prodigy, in my opinion. It features cigarette packets in a shop coming to life to rave to Warriors Dance. Unfortunately, the shop sets alight and is burnt down by the end of the video. Another bonus fact for this track, Channel 4 in the UK were meant to have the exclusive first play of the video, but it was pulled from broadcast. Our next entry is Diesel Power, and now when I say Diesel Power, thanks to, say, VW, diesel is controversial nowadays, but back in the 90s, Diesel Power was a fine blend of drum and bass and hip-hop. One of the best records the Prodigy ever made on the Fat of the Land album. Why do I love this track then? Because it was my introduction to American hip-hop and rap, and this is the song I credit for getting me into bands like Public Enemy and NWA. In fact, actually, Public Enemy I saw at both a Prodigy concert and a Stone Roses gig in Manchester. I didn't realise they were going to be at the Stone Roses gig in Manchester. They just turned up. That was after I saw them at the Prodigy, and they were brilliant. This track, I challenge anyone to learn the lyrics for and rap along, because trust me, you will run out of breath at some point. Fantastic track though, go check it out, it's on the Fat of the Land album. But before we move on, I missed something out. There is a great cover of this track by Dragon Star, which I recommend you should check out. And number 4 from the Prodigy's sophomore effort, Music for the Jilted Generation, it's Voodoo People, which samples the Charlemagne's Last of the Poets to get the Magic People, Voodoo People line. It is the ultimate rave track. The video for this song has quite the interesting backstory because it was changed. It features band member Leroy Thornhill as a voodoo priest, but originally there was a more graphic version of the video with witch doctors, which can be seen somewhere online, but it never aired. This track is made even better by the Voodoo People Pendulum remix, which features pretty much all the old band members. It's even won the competition because they start running with blindfolds. It's a weird video, but the competition is won. It's like an episode of Taskmaster or something. They get them to run with blindfolds on and all hell breaks loose. It's a fantastic video for the Voodoo People Pendulum remix, which if you haven't watched, go check it out. Go listen to the Pendulum remix. It makes this song and amplifies it. It's just so good. Next on our list at 3, it is Out of Space, which is from the album Experience, the 4th single, in fact, from the album Experience, and is probably the most well-known of the Prodigy's early work. The track samples the greatest reggae track not made by Bob Marley in Max Romeo's Chase the Devil. And if you've ever wondered where you've heard the I'll Take Your Brain to Another Dimension before, it's Ultramagnetic MC's Critical Breakdown. But you want to know why I really love this track? It's that Hanna-Barbera boing sound. Who doesn't love that? At number 2, missing out on the number 1 spot on our list, it is Smack My Itch Up. One of the most controversial records in British music history, it is still, though, an absolute banger. This is one of those cases where the more controversy the track caused, the more people wanted to listen to, and it gained a cult following as a result. The controversial nature of the track stems not only from its title and lyrics, but its music video 2, which is a lovely, family-friendly experience into drug-fueled sexual violence. In this track, we see the return of Kool Keith with Ultramagnetic MC's Give the Drummer Some, which gives us the infamous line, change my pitch up, smack my... You know where I'm going with that. According to online sources, the BBC banned this track. Of course they did. It's got a swear word in the title, and if they banned Frankie Goes to Hollywood to Relax, this is definitely getting banned. This went as far as even the chart show, which refused to mention the name of the track, only either playing a sample or playing an outright instrumental version of the track. The video which caused so much controversy for this song, as I've already kind of talked about it briefly, is a first-person perspective of a drunken, drug-fueled night of sexual excess and violence and vomiting and more. And we follow our protagonist, and at the end, they have sex with a stripper. But what we don't know is the gender identity of the protagonist, because it turns out it is a woman. And that was unseen before in music, for kind of music video controversy. Normally, you'd have expected it to be a man in that position, but the Prodigy went left field. And I'm glad they did. In fact, if I just pick up my tablet, I've got a direct quote from Liam Howlett himself. So, according to Liam Howlett, there's a realness to that video. Most people have had nights out like that, off their head on coke and drink. It's not to everyone's taste, but not everything we do is. No radio station was ever going to play the song, so we thought we might as well make a video no one would play either. What a rebel. Before I get to your number one, I feel that I should do some honourable mentions for Breathe and No Good Start the Dance, because they ain't at number one. The number one is Jericho. If you ever wanted to get a flavour of the early 90s, late 80s rave scene and culture, then it can all be summed up in this one track. Jericho, which was released alongside Fire, uses an interpolation of the distinct melody of Kunta Kinte by the Revolutionaries. This is the sound that evolved from the acid house scene and acid house artists like, for example, Adonis, Quango Quango, T. Coy, and a guy called Gerald. Yes, I know what you're thinking, that is the real name of an acid house artist from the late 80s. Lest we mention the role that the Hacienda nightclub in Manchester played in all of the acid house scenes in the late 80s. This track is 90s rave summed up in one. So that is our list. Any Prodigy tracks that I didn't include that you thought I should have, you can leave in the comment section down below or wherever YouTube puts it nowadays. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Dead Air Media. Hit the bell icon. We go weekly from this week. So new videos every Wednesday. Don't forget to check out our website. It's deadair.media. I've been Danny Harrington from Dead Air Media. Keep well, keep safe during this lockdown period, and I'll see you soon.